So dear students, today we are going to start with the topic plantation agriculture from chapter number 5, primary activities. In our previous class, we discussed about the different types of primary activities. Okay, like we discussed about hunting and gathering, which is the oldest known primary economic activity. Then we discussed about the intensive subsistence farming and the primitive subsistence farming. Okay, and today I am going to discuss with you all about the plantation agriculture. So in our last class, when I was explaining you about the primitive subsistence farming and the intensive subsistence farming, okay, I see it that this primitive subsistence farming is an oldest method of farming where the farmers they grow the crops for their own survival, okay, without taking help of the chemical fertilizers or the pesticides, okay, without taking help of the irrigation facilities and all. So in primitive subsistence farming, what happens? The farmers they clear a patch of forested lands and they carry out their agricultural activities for few years. And when the fertility of the soil is reduced, they again move to another patch of land. Okay. So such kind of primitive subsistence farming has some drawbacks like large-scale deforestation. Agricultural output is very much less. And in intensive subsistence farming, because of the high population pressure on the agricultural land, the farmers they try to grow as much crops as possible from a limited agricultural land. Okay, that is the intensive subsistence farming. And today the topic which I have selected to discuss with you all is the plantation agriculture. This plantation agriculture, or you can say the plantation farming, is a type of commercial farming. Okay, so what is commercial farming? First we should know. See, commercial farming is a type of farming where the farmers they grow the crop just for commercial purpose, just for selling it in the market and to earn profit. So you will find there are many farmers in the world, okay, who practice agriculture just for profit, just for selling the crops in the market and to earn the profit actually. So such kind of farming is the commercial farming. Like in case of our country India also, in the state of Punjab and Haryana, the farmers they use the irrigation facilities, okay, modern farm machineries, the HYV seeds, the chemical fertilizers, pesticides and the insecticides to grow the crops, okay, and for profit orientation, like for selling it in the market, okay. So this plantation agriculture is also a type of commercial farming, but the main fact is that in plantation agriculture, the farmers who are engaged in this plantation agriculture, they does not grow the grains. Okay, they does not grow the rice, wheat, jowar, bajra, ragi, pulses or etc. Okay, but the farmers they are mainly engaged in growing the plantation crops such as tea, coffee, rubber, etc. Okay, these are the plantation crops actually. So here we are going to discuss about the characteristics of the plantation agriculture, like what is plantation agriculture and what are the different characteristics of plantation agriculture. So this plantation agriculture, it basically started, okay, you can say plantation agriculture or the plantation farming, okay, it spread up in different parts of the world only during the colonial period, okay. Only during the colonial period when the Europeans, okay, they started colonizing different countries of the world, this kind of plantation agriculture started spreading in different parts of the world. The Europeans colonized many parts in the world and they introduced other form of agriculture such as plantation, which were mainly profit oriented, large scale production system. Okay. So basically when the Europeans, okay, they colonized different countries of the world, they introduced a new form of agriculture, and this new form of agriculture came to be known as the plantation agriculture or the plantation farming. And such kind of plantation agriculture or the plantation farming is a totally profit oriented farming. Okay, that is why it is also considered as a commercial farming, where a very large area, a single type of crop is being grown. Okay, a single type of crop is being grown on a large area for many years, okay, using the modern technologies and all, and many laborers are involved. Okay, so like just for an example, in our country, like we can see that the tea plantation, okay, the tea plantation was introduced by whom? By the Britishers, okay, in the valleys, in the Assam Valley and in the hills of Darjeeling Himalayas. Okay, see, plantation agriculture, as mentioned above, was introduced by the Europeans in colonies situated in the tropics. So basically, the countries, okay, which are situated in the tropical areas, Okay, in those areas only the plantation agriculture was started. Why? Because in the areas, okay, the tropical countries actually, okay, they have a suitable weather condition, they have a suitable climatic conditions for growing the plantation crops such as tea, coffee, cocoa, rubber, cotton, oil palm, sugarcane, bananas, and pineapples. Okay, so different types of plantation agricultures or the different types of plantation farming was introduced in different countries of the world by the Europeans. For example, tea and coffee was introduced in India. Okay, the cocoa, rubber, cotton, okay, sugarcane, bananas, and pineapples. These are also the other types of crops. Okay, like whose cultivation started. Okay, by the Europeans actually in their colonies. Some of the important characteristics, okay, some of the important features or the characteristics of this plantation agriculture are that a large states or the plantation, okay, large states or plantations. That means in order to carry out the plantation agriculture we require a very large area, very large area, okay, and the area can be more than 100 acres and all. Just you see, take an example of the tea gardens, like we can see the tea gardens in and around us, okay, and what you see is that the tea gardens are very large in size, okay, many acres of lands are there occupied by the tea bushes, tea plants and all, okay, and the tea industry is also located just close to the tea gardens, so that the leaves being plucked can be sent, okay, in a short period of time to the industry, and when the leaves will be processed and will be ready for selling in the market. Okay, so the area, okay, in plantation agriculture we require a very large plot of land, and also it requires large capital investment, huge capital investment is required. Why? In order to grow the crops, okay, in order to purchase the land, okay, we require huge crops actually. So basically in plantation agriculture a large capital investment is required. Okay, why a large capital investment is required? Because, okay, in order to purchase the land, okay, in order to give wages to the employees and all, okay, to maintain the this plantation farms and all, a huge investment is required. Okay, and also it requires highly skilled managerial and the technical support. Okay, like there are different people who are engaged, okay, like the different you can say highly skilled people are there who look after the production, okay, some one of them they look after the procurement and all, different branches are there and they look after the different branches actually. Okay, in this kind of plantation agriculture the scientific technology is being followed, okay, the scientific methods are being followed for cultivation. Okay, because in this kind of plantation agriculture actually the crops are most of the crops they are being sent to the industries for production, okay, for processing, and the goods are being supplied to the industries. Okay, so in order to compete in the international market scientific method has to be followed, okay, in order to grow the crops actually. The plantation agriculture, the most important characteristics of this plantation agriculture is the single crop specialization. Single crop specialization means only a single type of crop is grown on a plantation farming. Like if the tea gardens are there, only the tea gardens will be there, okay, no other crops will be grown. If coffee is cultivated, only coffee will be cultivated. If rubber is cultivated, only rubber plants will be cultivated. Okay, so single crop specialization is there, as well as cheap labor supply. It requires many number of laborers. Okay, so obviously they require the cheap labor supply. Okay, because if the higher the costly laborers, and also like the cost of production will increase. Okay, so in order to minimize the cost of production, cost of maintenance, they hire the cheap laborers and all, as well as a good system of transportation is required, as because the from the gardens, okay, from the plantation farm actually the crops needs to be sent to the industries, okay, and from the industries it needs to be sent to the market, so it requires a good system of transportation actually. Okay, like in the tea gardens which we can see in and around us, so better transportation is required, so that the tea leaves after being collected they can be sent in a very short period of time to the industries, where in the industries the tea leaves will be like processed, tea powder will be made, okay, and then it will be packed and sent to the market for selling actually. Okay, so these are the different characteristics, okay, these are the different characteristics of plantation agriculture. So as I have said you that the Europeans, okay, they basically started different types of plantation agriculture in different parts of the world. So basically you can see here that the French, they established the cocoa and the coffee plantation in West Africa. So in the West Africa, cocoa and coffee cultivation was started by the French. Okay. The British, they set up large tea gardens in India and Sri Lanka. Rubber plantation was started by the Britishers in Malaysia. Okay, and sugarcane and banana plantation was started in West Indies by the Britishers. Whereas the Spanish and the Americans, they invested heavily in the coconut and sugarcane plantations in the Philippines. Okay, Philippines. So the French, the British, the Spanish, the Americans, and also okay, they all have colonized. Okay, they all had their colonies and they started their plantation agriculture, okay, in their respective colonies. Like in our country, India, okay, tea gardens was mainly introduced by the Britishers actually. Okay, so in the same way, in different countries of the world, the plantation agriculture was mainly introduced by the by the, you can say, the Europeans actually. Okay, like the Dutch once had monopoly over the sugar plantation in Indonesia. Okay, and some coffee fazendas, that is some coffee plantation farms, okay, in Brazil are still managed by the Europeans. And like in case of our country, India actually, okay, like the tea gardens, okay, though it was introduced by the Britishers, okay, but now most of the tea gardens are being owned by the private individuals actually. Okay, see. So today, the ownership of the majority of the plantation has passed into the hands of the government or the nationals of the countries concerned. So though, like in our country, the tea plantation was introduced by the Britishers, okay, but most of these tea plantations are now under the control of the government, okay, or it is being managed and owned by the private individuals and all. Okay. So this is what about the plantation agriculture. So plantation agriculture is a form of commercial agriculture where a single variety of crop is being grown for many years. It requires huge capital investment, many number of cheap laborers. Okay, and this kind of plantation agriculture has a direct link with the industries. Okay, because the output, most of the output from this plantation agriculture, it cannot be consumed directly. Okay, so it has to be sent to the industries for processing, and then the final product is being sent to the market for selling it to the common people actually. Okay, so this is what about commercial agriculture or commercial farming.